just make sure that you take care of your biggest organ, which for most people is skin. It's a little different for me. But anyway.
Here we are, back again. So glad to be here. It's been forever since we've been in the studio with you. And my buddy Tony Gump is here. Tony
I'm
Gump
here as well. Hello.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Got my name back today, so we're good on that.
Good, good. And John Bird is here, who is definitely ready for summer.
No, man, it's definitely. Summer is here. And JoJo Cruz is here to celebrate with you, bro. That John Bird's a turd face, man. I left him in the car.
JoJo,
fart.
JoJo Cruz?
JoJo Cruz, man.
Is that? Okay.
Yeah, check it out. Ready to get my toes in the sand?
No, don't do that.
Yeah, man, I am ready.
He's that character from Street Fighter, not Ken, but the other guy with the hair.
Yeah, what was that guy's name? Can we Google that? What? But just put.
I always played him, actually.
It started with a G.
Gile or something. Hold on.
Gayway. What
That game
it?
was awesome when it came out. It was ahead of its time.
Ghoulie. Ghoulie. Yeah, it was like Guile was his name. Might have to YouTube it so we can figure out how to pronounce it.
There we go.
Yeah, that's him. That's who you look like.
Yeah, this kind of haircut.
Dang. Yeah, let me get this.
I don't know why I thought of that, but anyway.
Yeah.
Now, how do you pronounce his name is a question.
Guile.
Just type in pronounce Guile. Pronounce.
It might be a made-up word.
Guile. Is that right?
Let's see.
Guile.
Guile?
Really?
Definitely not spelt guile.
It doesn't look like Guile, but it's Guile.
Guile.
So
that's the masculine version of Kyle, I guess. Guile. Anyway, so big day for me yesterday.
Yeah.
It was the day that we went on Klim and Kush, which was the Bubba the Love Song. Everybody's got their phones unmuted today. What's the deal? What is going on here?
Come on, Guile.
Come on, Guile. Get it together. So we went on Bubba's podcast. It's Bubba and Seth, and it's known that we've kind of teamed up with them at this point. We really do. Have we only released one, or have we released two with them?
It's one, isn't it?
It's just one?
I think it's just one.
We're only one podcast deep?
I guess it's technically one, but two since we were on it. So.
Yeah. So Over the Line there'll be another Over the Line released later this week, and it was such a bucket list deal for me. I'm not going to go into too many details because tomorrow's going to be our Bubba podcast, and I'll talk more about it then. But just for the sake of argument, we've got a video sample. Now, to preface, they've got a subscription service on their YouTube channel where you can become a member for $4.99 a month. And with that membership, you actually get the visuals of the podcast instead of just the audio, which is actually a pretty smart thing.
Yeah.
I don't know that we could pull that off unless we did a deal where it was like we went live 2, 3, 4 times a month, and your perks were if you signed up for $4.99, you got to be a part of the live show.
Well, we could do like $14.99 a month, but give them access to Bird's OnlyFans account.
That's true. You could get that on the...
So I get a cut, though. But right?
Well, here's the thing. We've got to... it's a lot of work to do live videos. It's a lot of work to do these 2 a week.
Yeah.
So if we added a third one, I mean, we would have to charge like $15, $20. It'd have to be worth it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what we could do is we could bring somebody on, and then we would tell them to meet somewhere down the road, and I would blindfold them. And I could bring them here.
You mean have somebody pay to come be in the studio for the podcast?
Yes.
That sounds like an awful idea.
That sounds like we're prostituting the studio out or something.
Excuse me.
So here's a short clip, and this is actually just for some context. Bubba's asking me about my producer situation. We explained that you were no longer with us at the radio station. We had your picture up here. And so he starts asking about Tony Gump and whether or not he should be the producer at 99.5.
That was so funny.
And he can't seem to remember his name, so he calls him like 20 different names.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now, who do you have an executive producer? Do you have a person that wrangles up guests? Do you got a phone screener? Or is it just you and Tampa Jim over there?
What the fuck?
No. So at the radio station, I have a separate producer, which is the guy that replaced our good friend John Bird. And he is across the way. He's across the glass. He does my call screens and everything else. But I don't take a lot of calls. And I know you've been talking about this over the past couple of days.
That means you're good. That means
things.
you're good, buddy. That means you're well on your way to establishing yourself as a great host if you don't need a bunch of bullshit fucking phone calls.
Well, they're almost, and I love the listeners, but when you do the phone calls, it gets repetitive, especially in news talk realm. Everybody's kind of saying the same thing.
Right.
And I've got a lot of stuff. I got 3 hours. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. And
you need to use one of my
time.
you need to use one of my tricks, and when one of them pisses you off, you'd be like, "Okay, you're all done for today. I'm putting it all on hold. I don't want to hear anything about it. Get off of me. Get off my tip. I'm out. I'm out. I quit you guys. You guys are stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. I got so much cool stuff to talk about. Get off me. Now, why don't you take Tampa Jim over to
It's Tony Gump.
Okay, well, motherfucker, everybody's got a. I give everybody a nickname.
I don't want every. Oh,
He's Tampa Jim. Whatever.
Is it Tampa Jim?
Tony Gump? Does he want to be Tony Gump or does he want to be fucking Tampa Jim? Why don't you ask the guy?
Me?
Yeah.
You want to be Tampa Jim or Tony Gump?
They call me Tony Gump for all the things I've done, but I'm fine with Tampa Jim. I really don't care as long as I don't use my real name. You know.
Yeah, that's not even his real name. We named him Tony Gump because he's got a story for literally
How about
everything.
Tampa Tony? How about Tampa Tony Gump? How about that?
I like that. That's
Tampa, because see, people from Birmingham think that Tampa's this really, really big city, and there's a lot of really crazy shit that happens in Tampa. We're a much larger city than you are. A lot of sluts down here, a lot of craziness. So if we call him Tampa Tony Gump, then that's kind of the best of all worlds, and it kind of puts a little shady aspect on him. The bitches like that. You know what I'm saying?
Tony likes that. So, yeah, so Tampa Tony Gump is in Bubba Army world. That's what he's known as now.
TTG, baby. TTG.
I mean, it was better than Tampa. Don't get me wrong. I think Tampa Jim was kind of catchy, but Tampa. I need to keep Tony Gump. Like we went out of our way.
Rolls. Now Tampa Tony.
Tampa Tony.
I mean, I'm fine with Tampa Tony or whatever those guys want to call me.
Go Gump.
It's Tampa Tony Gump.
It could have been way worse with them. So
I mean, it's
whatever.
it's like a full name, you know. It's not like we're gonna start calling him Tampa Tony Gump. We call him Tony Gump, and then his official name, it's like Mr. Tony Gump, Tampa Tony Gump.
I mean, if everybody calls me.
Yeah.
If everybody calls me Tampa Tony Gump, I think I committed a crime because it's a 3-name name.
But how crazy is it that we're now like in the mix with the Bubba Army, and you're known as the Tampa guy as you sit here in Birmingham.
Welcome to the Gump world. I don't know what to tell you.
And you didn't get what are you drinking? What is that?
Little Crown Royal.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
There's no way you got Crown Royal in there.
Yeah, there is.
He probably stocked up for all the tariffs.
Let me smell it.
Hell no.
I didn't
This is
think
good
so.
stuff.
So,
Let you sniff it.
you didn't get an official invite, but I'll make sure that's
Oh, hell yeah.
that's a thing. They invited us to BARP, which is their annual thing. I think we actually played part of it the other day on one of the podcasts, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. I think. Yeah.
And doesn't that look like so much fun?
But, Tony, you said it was in January?
I think they had it in January. That's when they posted their little 55-minute movie they did. So
Yeah. You okay?
Sorry, yeah, I just got some
Well, you got
sunblock on my
sunscreen
nose,
all
yeah.
up in your.
I hope that's sunscreen.
So yeah, we'll see about BARP. I don't know when it is, but it's the Three Amigos.
Yeah. But you know what? If it ain't in the summertime, we got to make a push to get down there. We got to figure out some way.
We could, we could make a trip down there before BARP and just see if they'll let us stop by the studio and just hang out go down there. I don't know, like a Thursday or something, and see if they'll let us come on the morning show for like an hour on a Friday.
Oh hell yeah,
that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. I've had dreams literal dreams about going to their studio because I've been such a fan and I've been listening for such a long time. Like I tried to play it cool, but when I say it was a big deal for me, like it was a big deal. You can ask Tony. Like I was nervous before
Well, I tell you look really good there.
We're sitting on Zoom and we're waiting on them to log in, and I'm like, Tony,
Yeah, I was
I'm
looking
nervous.
over. I'm like, what the hell's this guy nervous for?
Man,
You know?
it's a dream come true.
I was
I got
nervous.
a recurring dream: shitting my pants on stage
I
when I'm playing.
think-
So I don't want that.
I think I handled it well,
You did, man.
but I think the next step that would make me nervous would be probably Donald Trump, having him on the show, radio show, or the podcast. Or
Oh, that'd be
whatever.
no big deal, man. You can handle that.
What?
Mm.
Man.
I don't know. I'm getting nervous thinking about it. All right, let's move on. Speaking of Trump, big controversy today. Apparently, Apple has a thing where if you use text to speech, is that what it's called, or is it called speech to text?
Speech to text.
Okay, so you're speeching to the texting. If you say the word racist, it will type out the word Trump. At least briefly, it'll flash Trump, and then it'll switch back to racist. Now, the proof is all over the internet. Watch this right here. This is an example.
Racist. Racist.
Android, here I
Racist.
come, baby.
Racist.
We just duplicated this on 3 phones. Other people are able to duplicate it. It may be what updates people have. Some people are not duplicating it. Sean, you did it on your phone.
Yep.
No joke. Subliminal programming. Absolutely disgusting.
Just out of here, puppets admired.
Well, at least Apple's moving back to the U.S.
Sounds like Hulk
Some
Hogan.
programmers and stuff they're doing.
Exposing the U.S.
And it's all AI garbage.
That's is that Alex Jones' gym? That's pretty nice.
I don't know. I don't know if it's his gym or if it's just where he goes, kind of thing.
It's the Tampa gym. Get it?
And if you type in Trump, it goes to racist.
All right, here we're gonna test it out.
Okay.
We're gonna test it out.
I think they fixed it already, but go ahead.
Oh, did they?
I'm sure they did.
So are we talking about a non-issue here, or we still want to hold Apple's
Well, you
feet
got
to the
Apple,
fire?
so yeah.
Not going right.
All right, so I don't ever use text to speech, but let's give this a shot. Racist. That didn't work. Hold on.
I did see something where they had corrected it yesterday, and they just called it a glitch.
Racist. One more time. Racist. No.
Say Trump.
Trump. Racist.
We're definitely not
It
gaining
says
ground in the algorithms right now. You know,
This video's done. It's like throwing random words at me now. I think it just doesn't understand me. I'm not the best. I'm not
it's
the best
been
speaker.
Fixed.
Yeah. I feel like this has happened before. Wasn't this a thing at one time? Like, you type in racist or...
Oh, yeah, on Google.
Oh, was it Google that
Yeah.
did that? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember, like, going through this at one point.
yeah, I remember lots of stuff they were doing. To be honest,
Well, Apple's just doing what they have to do to protect democracy because Trump's dangerous. Even that one guy, the Canadian Parliament dude, now, I don't know a whole lot about Canadia's government, but they've got this weird kind of setup, and like there's people above, even the president or the prime minister. But there's one guy who's apparently the leader of one of their political parties, and he's one of these. I guess is he a Shiite Muslim or something? He wears a turban. Okay, all right. I guess he's a Muslim, but he looks like an Indian guy. He's got a weird looking beard.
Oh, yeah, that beard and everything. That's definitely has an Indian guy.
There
look.
he is right there. So he's speaking, I guess, to his fellow Canadians or, members of their Congress. And he's talking about the G7 summit. Now, everybody knows G7 is, the top 7 countries all coming together and they discuss international issues and try to, wheel and deal and compromise on whatever. This guy from Canada says Trump is such a danger he should be disinvited from the G7 this year.
I also believe we need to ban Donald Trump from attending the G7 summit.
Pause it. Okay, so he didn't just say disinvite. He said ban Donald Trump. That's a whole different thing right there. Ban Donald Trump from the G7.
And what wonderful 6 powerful nations they would have left.
Right?
God.
Like, what are you going to do without us? Anyway, sorry.
Summit. Donald Trump should not be welcome here. Why would we invite someone who has threatened our very democracy, our very sovereignty? Why would we invite someone who has threatened our economic well-being?
We should ask him for 3 wishes.
Why would we invite someone who threatens our allies and threatens the world's stability?
Please wish to ban Donald
Why
Trump.
would we allow a convicted criminal into our country?
Why am I not in Bombay right
Why
now?
would we invite someone who has such disdain for multilateral organizations? Instead, what we should do is use the G7 summit as an opportunity to work with our allies on a plan to resist Donald Trump and his dangerous threats to the world.
I mean, this is the most obnoxious genie ever.
God.
So,
Got a big head.
like, not only does he say let's ban Donald Trump, he says let's use the G7 to talk about how we stop Donald Trump from doing Donald Trump stuff. Donald Trump is not a threat to anything except people's feelings, especially when it comes to the press. Like, he will hurt your if you go back, 8 years, 6 years, and you just look at his he's been very mild with the press
really
this time, by
has.
the way. I think that'll change depending on how they conduct themselves, but I think they're realizing they're shooting themselves in the foot if they act in the same way they did the first term. But boy, some classic moments. Here's a montage of some of Donald Trump's best interactions with the media.
Between you people, don't talk to me that way. You're just a lightweight. Don't talk to me that way. I'm the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to the president that way. Well, I'll give you voters. I will give you voter suppression. You just have to sit down, please. Sit down. I didn't call you. A question? Yeah, go ahead. Sure. She's shocked that I picked her.
No.
She's like in a state of shock.
I'm not thinking, Mr.
That's
President.
okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do. How many people had died in the United States?
So do you acknowledge that you didn't think
Keep your
it was
voice down,
going to
please.
spread?
Keep your voice down.
Do you want him to rein in Robert Mueller?
What a stupid question that is. What a stupid question. But I watch you a lot. You ask a lot of stupid questions.
Ask my question.
You've
My
been asking a question for 10
No, you
minutes. So
interrupted
please
my
sit down.
question.
Look. You know you're a fake. You know that. Your whole network, the way you cover it, is fake. And most of you, and not all of you, but the people are wise to you. That's why you have a lower approval rating than you've ever had before, times probably 3.
Americans were scared, though, I guess.
Probably
Nearly
3.
200 dead, 14,000 who are sick, millions, as you witnessed, who are scared right now. What do you say to Americans who are watching you right now who are scared?
I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say.
You've said repeatedly that you think that some of the equipment that governors are requesting they don't actually need. You said New York might not need 30,000. You said it on Sean Hannity's Fox News. You said that
why don't you people act? Let me ask you.
You said
why
some
don't you
states.
why don't you act in a little more positive? It's always trying to
My
get
question to you
get
is-
you. And you know what? That's why nobody trusts the media anymore.
My
That's
question
why
to you is,
people,
how is that gonna
excuse
impact?
me, you didn't hear me. That's why you used to work for the Times and now you work for somebody else. Let's give it a shot.
Governor Cuomo, as you played in that clip, has indeed praised a lot of what the federal government has done, but he...
No, excuse me. He didn't say a lot. He said we did a phenomenal job. He didn't say a lot. He didn't say you did a good job on ventilators but nothing else. No, he said we did a phenomenal job. So report accurately, because you are one of the most inaccurate reporters. People have been just absolutely excoriated by some of the fake news, like you. You're CNN, you're fake news. And let me just tell you, they were excoriated by people like you that don't know any better because you don't have the brains you were born with.
Why are you saying that to me, specifically?
I'm
that I
telling
should
you.
ask
I'm not
China?
saying it specifically to anybody. I'm saying it to anybody that would ask a nasty question
That's
like
not
that.
a nasty
Please go
question.
ahead.
Why does it matter?
Okay. Anybody else? Please go ahead in the back, please.
I have 2 questions.
No, it's okay.
But
We'll
you
go over
pointed
here.
to me. I have 2 questions, Mr.
Next,
President.
next, please.
You didn't. You called on me.
I did, and you didn't respond, and now I'm calling on
Sorry, I just
the
wanted
young
to,
lady in the back, please.
I just wanted to let my colleague finish.
Okay.
But can I ask you a
Ladies
question?
and gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
They're like children.
Yep.
They were like little kids. But you called on me. What a bunch of crybabies.
Well, I've noticed lately he doesn't go right at him. He asks them who they're with first, and then he goes after him now.
And he knows about all just like he said to the one lady. He's like, you used to work for the Times, now you work for somebody else.
Oh,
That's
man.
'cause you suck. Oh, dude. Politics is so much more fun with Donald Trump. I don't care. I don't care where you fall on Donald Trump or what you think about him. Like, it's just, it is more fun with Trump in it.
I honestly think he would have been a great stand-up comedian. Like,
Oh
have
my
his own
gosh,
Netflix special.
I was getting ready to say,
Yeah.
the greatest
so
insult
funny.
comedian president we've ever had.
He is so
Definitely the
funny.
best troll.
Yes.
And sadly enough, Joy Reid has lost her job. I'm sure everybody's heard about that by now.
man.
It was very sad, and none of us really got to see how it went down because it was done behind the scenes, and they had a meeting, and it actually leaked to the media before they found out. But somebody put together an illustration of how all of it would have gone down, and I think we have that. Yeah, here it is. This is how the firing went down.
I'm Joy Reid, and this is my last show. MSNBC decided to cancel it because they don't realize how much my show has to offer. Like, how will white people know how racist and misogynist they are if I don't tell them every day? Anyway, joining me is another victim of oppression, Don Lemon.
Thanks, Joy. I don't know what you're upset about. There's no way you're as oppressed as I am. After all, I'm black and gay. According to the hierarchy, I'm one tier more oppressed than you.
Don, that's ridiculous. Obviously, I'm more oppressed than you because I'm black and have a minky in my pants. You're black and gay, but you're a man. And being a man canceled out the gay.
I didn't realize I was talking to Jim Crow. Being black and gay makes me way more oppressed than you.
But you don't have a minky in your pants. Man, I wish there was some way we could settle this.
Oh, what is happening? Where are we? Who abducts a black and gay man? What is this? Jim Crow teleporting? I brought you here. I'm Cynthia Erivo. I heard your dispute about who's more oppressed. As you know, I was recently chosen to be Jesus because I'm black and gay, so I have the power to determine who's more of a victim. As you know, the oppression tier list was discovered by Rosa Parks. She wasn't as oppressed of any of us, but this is how we determine who's the most oppressed.
So who's more oppressed?
I'm getting to that. According to the tier list, I'm at the top because I'm black and gay and have a minky in my pants. Joy, you're here on level 2 because although you're just black, you do have a minky. Don, you're closer to the bottom. You may be black and gay, but you're a man and that cancels out a gay. This is outrageous. You're just saying that because you're homophobic. I didn't realize we were looking at the Jim Crow oppression tier list. It doesn't really matter. You're both equally obnoxious.
Okay, that was really good.
That's got to be the creators of South Park. That voice.
Yeah. I don't know who makes that, but that's good. We got to keep up with those guys.
Yes.
Did you see Joy Reid though when she first took to social media when she found out about her show? She was very upset. She's a very sad individual here.
My show had value, and
that
I'm sorry that that what I was doing had value. Had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. And I think this is kind of like me on TV, so I apologize. And then it mattered. I see Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank you.
Here you go, bitch. Wipe your tears.
Where I land
that's
is
enough.
that
Did he just assault her?
the moment that of guilt that I felt.
She's
that
like,
I
I don't need no man to help me wipe my tears. Get out of here. He got canceled out because he's a man. He can't be oppressed.
Yep. But he was serving a woman. Now, so does that count for anything? He was a black man serving a black woman.
Oh no, I don't think so. I think being a man cancels everything out. But in honor of Joy Reid and her departing MSNBC off to do whatever she does, like sign up for Substack or whatever. I don't know what she's going to do. But it is important to remind everyone, since we were talking about Apple and racist, that this is the most racist individual on television and has been for the entire length of her MSNBC career.
The race lady. Why would they call me that? Is this really about me fixating on race, or is it about you fixating on race?
But Donald Trump wants to never let black and brown folk up off the mat. It's evident what they mean by DEI, right? Why don't you just say what you mean? You can't stand black people. We get it. You've been heard. Are you committed to naming a black woman as your vice presidential running mate? They wanted to go after the brown people, too, because, of course, that is their other target. not fashionable to be openly racist anymore in America, unlike what they call the good old days. Only the white Christian men may have the things. So you own everything that happens to your mixed status families and to your wives, sisters, and abuelas. Joy. If you are black plus anything else, you are black. Violent white nationalism that today threatens our national security.
Make a joyful noise.
Don't send any of those invites to any black women you know. We do have a fascist groundswell in parts of this country, mainly among white men, let's be clear. I mean, you're also a white guy. Are you saying the we is white folks need more kids? Make your own dinner, MAGA. Make your own sandwiches. Wipe your own tears.
Only God can give that woman the kind of joy she has right there.
Similarities to what happened in Germany and what's happening now in America are just undeniable. Donald Trump is acting like a Nazi, talking like a Nazi, and now posting like a Nazi. Like Trump, Hitler was also viewed as a clown, a goon, who could be kept in line after a 4-year break to learn to accurately quote Adolf Hitler.
Okay, I got a question. I've got to ask. Did she have like alopecia or something? Is her hair like, was it falling out?
Yeah, I don't know, but she constantly had. I mean, she was even
had that Three Stooges hair going there at one point.
And yeah, and she even had a Donald Trump hairpiece at one time. It was bizarre. Like, look at that right there. This is her Donald Trump hairpiece, and I'm like, why are you dressing like Hitler? That's weird. She's even wearing an orange jacket.
Oh.
She's like, look at me. I'm Orange Man. Anyway, I just want to make sure everybody knows who Joy Reid is. And when you see her wiping her tears and boo-hooing, remember the awful stuff that she said.
Crocodile tears.
Maybe she can, I don't know if y'all know this. I just found this out on the way over here, but maybe she could go on Gavin Newsom's podcast. He's got a new podcast. Which is kind of weird because it's like, if you're the governor of a state, shouldn't you be doing like governor stuff and not a podcast?
We could ask Trudeau that. Does he have his own podcast?
I don't know.
I'm sure he does.
But like your entire state just burnt down and your response is, I'm going to do a podcast. It doesn't seem like very good PR, like smart campaigning.
Our tax money's probably paying for it, I bet.
That's true. That's true. All that money he saved on water flowing to Los Angeles.
What the hell is that drawing in the back?
Oh, God.
What is a toilet seat?
That looks like a
three-dimensional toilet seat, a thumb?
It's a Venn diagram of some kind.
It is a Venn diagram. It is an X-ray of somebody's ball sack, looks like. Anyway, let's test this out. Let's test this promo for Gavin Newsom's new podcast.
We need to change the conversation, and that's why I'm launching a new podcast. And this is going to be anything but the ordinary politician podcast. I'm going to be talking to people directly that I disagree with, as well as people I look up to. But more important than anything else, I'll be talking directly with you, the listener. Real conversations. What's going on with the cost of eggs? What are the impacts, real impacts to you around tariffs? What power does an executive order really have? And what's really going on inside of Doge? Look, there's an onslaught of information that we take in. So let's take it to the sources without the typical political mumbo jumbo. In the first few weeks, we're going to be sitting down with some of the biggest leaders and architects in the MAGA movement. This is Gavin Newsom.
Huh.
He sounds like a televangelist.
What a fascinating title for that podcast. This is Gavin Newsom. Huh. You think anybody's going to watch that?
No. I mean, he may have some folks at first, but it'll drop off pretty quick.
I mean, if he says he's bringing in some of the big timers from the MAGA movement, now if he actually brings in MAGA people and gets into a spat with them, it'll make some.
Well, the MAGA people will be the ones watching because the left, I mean, all those younger folks, they don't really care.
Yeah,
about
and all the views will be on X from other people clipping the podcast. Like he's not going to actually get the views.
Now I'll give Gavin this. He's one of the slickest politicians I've ever seen.
Yes.
Like the look, the talk. He can be in the worst spot on a debate of some kind, and he can still sound good if you don't know what's going on.
You remember? I guess this was during. Was this last year that this happened? That Gavin Newsom and Ron DeSantis did a debate.
Yeah, they did do that with Hannity, I believe.
Yeah, was that before or after DeSantis? That was after DeSantis dropped out, right? Or was it before?
I think it was after, but it was definitely before the Biden-Trump debate.
Interesting. That was actually a pretty good concept. I mean, I don't, y'all know how I feel about Ron DeSantis. I like him. I think he's got great ideas. He's talking about ending property tax and different tax holidays and stuff. I'd love to have Ron DeSantis as our governor here in Alabama.
Yeah, yes.
But I still feel like he's not ready for, a presidential stage. I don't think he's, I don't know. I just don't think he can do it. Unfortunately, because I think he's a good guy, but
he could pull off like a vice president type of vibe or something, maybe, because they're not in the spotlight so much.
Yeah, he's definitely vice president material.
But could he handle being vice president and being older than, let's say, Vance?
What do you mean?
Well, he might be Vance's vice president.
Yeah, that's true. Could do that.
But I mean, he's older.
That doesn't matter.
Definitely.
If I was Trump or somebody in charge, DeSantis is the kind of guy you'd want on your team, but not in the spotlight so much. He's not your stand-up comedian at the mic. He's the guy working in the back parts, getting shit done.
Yeah, he's got like a weird awkwardness to him when he's in the spotlight. I don't know.
And in the boots.
Yeah, the boots. That's a big
the
thing.
De Niro or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, the high heel
Stiletto.
boots. Yeah. It's just weird. Honestly, I hate to do this on this podcast, but since our last trans video was such a hit with the donut and the candy cane, I thought I'd bring another trans video.
Let's do it.
Jump Bird would be excited.
Baby.
I ran across this guy, or should we say transgender woman, and apparently he's responding to somebody on TikTok asking, why did you keep your penis? Wanting to know why, if you're dedicated to the cause, why not chop that bad boy off? And I think, hey, that's probably a question a lot of us have.
How dedicated are you to it?
Yeah, if you want to be transgender, be transgender.
Whack it off.
Go all the way. Turn that candy cane into a donut. All right? So here's what he says.
Your dad is on his knees for it. This weird obsession with people's genitals must end. The Reddit threads about how big mine is. Fuck you. Gross. This is digital sexual harassment, and it's gotta stop. What I do with my body and your father has nothing to do with you. But while we're here though, little 101, a very small percentage, something like 5% of trans girls, maybe less, pursue bottom surgery. It's inaccessible, it's an extensive recovery process, there's a lot of stigma, there's tons of reasons, none of which are anyone else's business but hers and anyone she involves in that decision. Some trans girls keep them because they're tops. Do you know, back to your father for a sec. I think we've said this over and over again, we're not walking around in the wrong bodies. Y'all have the wrong perception of how to respect us in society. And sometimes that comes with feelings about our genitals and sometimes it doesn't. But why are you asking a stranger about their genitals? Why? Why are you doing that? There are sanctioned times where I post a thirst trap and I say, go wild in the comments. This is your space to do that. Stick to those times because this stuff is weird and I don't even know if you meant to be offensive or not. But
are you a chick with a dick?
I'm tired of this stuff.
That's what I want to know.
It's so invasive. Leave us the fuck alone.
Here's what I don't understand. You put all that work into nails and hair and everything else, but you've got a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yes.
Why not shave your face? And why with the dad jokes? Is that his now that he's trans, he can't hit him with a yo mama joke? He's got to go, yo daddy? Yo daddy's so gay?
Is it me or does it kind of look a little bit like Alex Stein?
Oh, no, don't say that. Don't say that.
Okay.
I mean, though, put that on the big screen.
Alex Stein's a man.
Put it on the big screen and okay, well, maybe a little bit, but I don't want to go down that road because I really want Alex Stein to be on. He followed me on Twitter today, and I really want him to be on the show. So now that we're Bubba Army, he's I guess he saw Bubba tweet about us, and
if we didn't like Alex Stein so much, we would have never brought him up.
How many times have we sat in this studio and talked about, man, we really need to get Alex Stein on the show? How many times?
1,000.
It has been your goal.
I watch him maybe not 5 days a week, but I watch most of his shows. He's got a show on the Blaze that streams on YouTube, and it is the most erratic, unconventional, crazy, you don't know what's going to happen type of show.
That's the best kind.
He's always got a guest on, and he makes the guest so utterly uncomfortable in every show. It's just, I don't know. It's crazy. Actually, just for the sake of argument, let's go to YouTube and just look up Alex Stein, and let's say his show from the most recent live stream.
He's been doing the walking around bit. I've been paying attention to. The
Yeah.
Lakeside Vibes.
Click his profile there, and go to live. And
These are the last 3. I've watched a couple of them where he walks around.
Okay, it must be a different profile. I guess put prime time. Alex Stein is what we need. Yeah, prime time 99. There it is. That's the one we need. Now hit the live tab, and hit his. Yeah, that's the last show, and just pick us a random spot in the middle of that show.
Let's actually have a little buffer. Love Dan Crenshaw. We're going to do a segment right after this ad read where we're going to talk to Mr. Crenshaw right here. Okay, most Americans have been aware.
Fast forward through the ad real quick and get to the other side, because I think I know what he's about to do, because I watched it last night.
FauciCoverup.com/Stein.
Yeah, keep going forward. There you go. Okay.
And like you, I'm very blessed in that I get to go and speak. You know, people call me a political commentator. Would they call you now a political commentator as well, obviously?
I don't know what they call me. Usually it's Nazi or something like that.
Well, you are a Nazi. You are. So, you know, I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you guys. Yes, we're all Nazis. No, but on a serious note, you've become outspoken. You're obviously a very powerful guy in the Tarrant County GOP, which is a powerful area here in Texas. But, like, what are you? What is your passion? My passion is I want to make people laugh. What is your passion?
All right, go up a little further. We want to see what he does to the Dan Crenshaw doll.
Where the government's going to spend money, so they invest in those companies.
Keep going.
Well, Doge.
The people would still be
A little
alive
further.
today. And
A little
Guns N' Roses
further.
did a cover of that song.
All right.
And watching the show, you got cool.
All right,
if we can just
go back.
I don't want, is Dan going to see
up.
this, Jimmy, you think?
Back up a little bit. There you go.
These rappers, are you worried about these rappers turning your children gay?
There we go.
Nathan, this is the Dan Crenshaw domestic diva doll. And now, luckily, this is a doll. So if this is a human, I couldn't do this. But because this is a doll, I just want to show you. This is what I want to do to Dan Crenshaw. If you can see this. If we can just kind of, I don't want, is Dan going to see this, Jimmy, you think?
We'll find out.
Okay, because he's going to say, I just want him to go to prison, and then when he goes to prison, I want to
Just want the doll to go to prison.
I want the doll to go to prison. Yeah, it'd be bad to want him to go to prison.
Yeah, we don't want this happen to
We
Dan.
don't want
just the
anything like this to
doll.
happen to a human being. So this is a fantasy doll. But if this was Dan Crenshaw in a fantasy land, I would love for him to go to prison, and I'd like for them to stick this cigar, just like Monica Lewinsky. Remember Monica Lewinsky?
I was thinking the Bill Clinton thing here a second ago.
Yeah, so he's going to get a little Bill Clinton if I can stick it in its fake derriere. Look at that. Cigar in the butt. Monica Lewinsky style. You like that, guys? Look, we're the first person to bring that back. So, Dan, if you go to jail in a whimsical tale, the doll is going to get a Monica Lewinsky cigar in the butt. Okay, now, let's get into this.
Okay. I'm telling you, it's wild. It's you don't know what you're going to get. And maybe, hey, listen, maybe this is my next bucket list. The 3 of us get to be on Alex Stein's show.
Oh, man.
At least before it gets canceled. Because I feel like every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, you're about to get canceled, bro.
Yeah,
But
he likes
never
to
does.
push the envelope, but remember his mother died during the pandemic thing where they put her on the ventilator and gave her remdesivir
Yeah.
and then the other, so they
Yeah.
kind of, offed her.
Yeah, that's true.
That set a fire under him for sure.
And if we get to talk to him, I want to ask him, like, there was one time he was doing the show and he was talking to one of these, I guess, swimmers that were swimming with Leah Thomas. And he was telling her how much he loved her and everything else. And he's like, please, will you call me? Let's go on a date. And he gives out his number live on the show. And I rewind it and I type the number in my phone and I text it. And I'm like, this is not really Alex Stein, is it? And he was like, yes, it is. So he gave out his actual number on the phone. He may have changed it. I haven't texted again, but
You ought to text him now that you've been on Bubba
Yeah.
and put a little message, be like, this is Andrew with Over the Line. Bubba, the Love Sponge, told me to text you and just see what happens.
I don't want to be too aggressive though, since he's only followed me for a few hours.
Yeah, but you've got to be you've got to show him that you mean business. So I would go ahead and text him and say, look, we've got March 4th available. If you want to do that, I don't know when we can work you in other than March 4th.
But what if he tries to stick a cigar up my butt?
Click, 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 baby. Come on.
I'd be
Sign up,
honored.
subscribe. Are you kidding?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I
don't know.
would stick a butt up I mean, I would stick a butt up your cigar. I would definitely stick a butt up your cigar. Wait a minute.
Let's be honest, though, for real. If there was one person on this show that would stick a cigar up their butt for the content, it would be you. And you know it.
Now, you need to check out his OnlyFans lately. He might have already pulled that off.
Yeah, he's just got a new idea for OnlyFans.
Well, actually, yeah, on next week's OnlyFans, I'm going to be giving myself a colonoscopy.
A tobacco enema.
Yes.
The dangers of a tobacco enema.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we need to make sure we continue to promote this March 15th, which is only 2 weeks from this weekend. March 15th, O'Sherry Pub, Moody, Alabama. We want everybody that listens to this podcast to show up. And I understand some of y'all are from out of town. You don't live nearby. You got 2 weeks to make plans. Get yourself a hotel room. Come out and hang out.
Why can't they get a hotel room? What day is it going to be, Andrew?
It's Saturday.
Saturday.
So you need to make advanced plans so there's something available. But listen, if you're going to make it a day trip, we're right there. I mean, you got a Buc-ee's to check out. We got an entire mall down the street. There's a Bass Pro Shop. Like, we got all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of stuff
in that vicinity. So you don't have to, worry about it. Here's O'Sherry Pub right here. You can go to OSherryPub.com. OSHERRI Pub. Not O'Sherry's, but O'Sherry. And all the information's right there. I wonder if we need to get them to put our logo up on the website to promote it. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll just promote it ourselves. Joel's very excited, by the way.
Yeah, it's
he is
gonna
over
be
the
fun.
moon.
Johnny O'Carroll, he's got his tickets.
Are you willing to do if I can find my TENS unit, I'll go buy a new one if I have to, but will you do the TENS unit on the stage?
Of course.
Okay. So we're going to zap John Bird with an electrical TENS unit while he's doing the guitar.
Remember, if you got $50, I will do my Wee Willie Winker. If you've got 100, I'll do my Wee Willie Winker and my boss at the same time. Just putting that out there.
I figured that'd be a package deal, but he's separating them. I like
full
that.
meat and potatoes.
We could do, so there's, how many levels was on that TENS unit? Was it 5? Okay, so we'll say
still remember.
For each level, like if you want to have John Bird zapped at a 5, you come put $5 in the bucket, and I'll zap him for a few seconds at 5. If you only want him to get zapped at 1, come drop $1 in the bucket.
Everybody's going to want to do 5.
All proceeds go to you, though.
And there's no tax on tips now.
And there's no tax on tips.
Yeah, and I guess I don't have to worry about being made sterile.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm personally not going to put it on your privates, but I'm talking about putting it like on your neck or something.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Now, I need to do a little research because we don't want to get like the jugular vein. That would be awful.
That's
probably kill me.
It's probably fine. I mean, it's just...
Tony, will you do me a favor and just after the podcast, will you just do some research on that?
Just do it now. Let's pull up a Google. Can you put a TENS unit on your jugular?
TENS unit?
Yeah, is it TENS?
Yes, I believe so.
TENS unit on your jugular. Jugular vein. There you go.
Okay.
See, I mean, somebody has asked that question.
No, you should never put a TENS unit on your jugular vein. It is considered extremely unsafe to place TENS unit electrodes in the front of your neck, including near the jugular vein, due to potential risk of serious complications like fainting or irregular heartbeat. Well, fainting's not that big a deal. I mean, it's just...
Irregular heartbeat. Now, we did this last time. I could have died.
Where's the jugular veins like... Well, yeah, we'll kind of put it towards the back of your neck.
Oh, no. Come on, man.
It'll be all right.
It's
No,
only
I'll put it on
Google
my
anyway.
stomach. I'll put it on my stomach.
It doesn't mean it's real. It's
Yeah,
Google. They
may
lie
not even be telling
sometimes.
us the truth. Could be lying.
Wait, if it's AI, I might be with you on that. Did
Maybe we
AI
need to ask Grok from X or something later. See what that happens.
I don't want to die.
You're
I'm
not.
too
You'll be
young.
fine. Listen, it's for the money. It's for the fans. It's for the listeners.
You don't give a shit about me.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. You never have.
Obviously, I do, because who else would I be able to do a TENS unit on? There's nobody else to do.
I know. It's all about the clicks for you, man.
I think you should eat a hot chip and then get TENS. or
Oh,
whatever.
no.
Yeah, there you go. I got
There'd be
Carolina
some
Reapers at the house.
projectile vomiting going on there.
There's a big story floating around. Speaking of clicks, a big story floating around about apparently there's this chick from Ole Miss, a student at Ole Miss. You already know about this?
Oh, God.
And she's dating a guy, and I guess she's in her early 20s. Well, she ends up banging his dad, and word gets out about it, and now it's like all the rage online.
Oh, boy.
And I honestly, I've only watched one video on it, so I don't know like the juicy details. But is it a thing where they're releasing all their text messages between each other, like it's all just out in the public now? Do you know?
No, they did it so they like went in together and said, "Hey, we can make some money," like the Hot Tour Girl.
No, I think probably somebody else released it. I don't think they would have done it.
So this wasn't accidental. Like the dad was drunk and in bed, and she went to the house.
She
and
accidentally fell on his wee willy winker. No,
You know.
no,
Many times.
no. It was on purpose. And then apparently, the guy, the son, is staying with the girl after she banged his dad.
How could you even be around them after that?
I don't know.
Maybe it'll be the cameraman.
Maybe that was it. Maybe the son was the cameraman. All right, here's an explainer from some random guy on the internet.
Listen, every job has its occupational hazards. And this story about this Mary Kate chick is mine. I don't want to talk about this. I'm too old. I got kids. It's not appropriate. I don't even want to do this. But it's my solemn promise to you to bring you the internet news, and I don't decide what the internet talks about. And so today, the story happens to be this chick from Ole Miss who fucked her boyfriend's dad. That's the long and short of it. I mean, I'll give you the details, but the bottom line is you're going to see the name Mary Kate trending, and allegedly this is her, and allegedly that's what happened. Now, if you want the first-hand details, you want a primary source, you can look at this screenshot of what has to be maybe the most illiterate paragraphs you'll ever read in your goddamn life. Basically explaining that Mary Kate was dating this kid, Evan, and there's a couple times that she went home and fucked his dad.
A couple times.
This is the picture they're circulating. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. These are the things they're saying. I don't want to say them. And listen, I grew up in the Jerry Springer era, okay? So the headline, I slept with my boyfriend's dad, that's just afternoon television on a Tuesday in the 90s, okay? But that doesn't make it any less despicable. If you bang your boyfriend's dad multiple times, you are wicked. You are depraved. You are a Jezebel, a siren, a harlot. You are evil. And if you bang your son's girlfriend, you are a despicable father. And if you're the son who keeps the girl after you find out that your dad banged your girlfriend, you are one sad individual. But man, does a story like this just light up the internet. And at the end of the day, I'm just going to say this. I'm sending my son to Ole Miss, okay? That's a joke! It's a joke!
Go Rebs!
Okay, so go back to the video, to the portion where, all right, start right there. And this is apparently a space on Twitter. Big Jerker Thornton says, "Damn, man." His name's Big Jerker Thornton. Says, "Damn, man, Mary Kate's boyfriend was probably munching box, and it had his dad's meat."
Oh, God.
That's terrible.
Okay. Go to the other text message, the one he was saying that was so illiterate. Yeah, there it is. Let's see. But so over like the break, or I can click right before the break started. Mary Kate went home early from school because I guess she finished her exams early and went to go watch Evan's little sister in her basketball game, and went with the dad, and then they dropped the sister off at home like after the basketball game, and they went to like dinner and drinks and was like buying her drinks and stuff, and then they like got with each other there or something, and then that was like the first time, and I can't even read that. He's right, that is illiterate. So they're explaining the whole scenario, like how it all went
Probably
down.
doing speech to text.
Yeah. Like she totally like banged his dad.
Now that's I assume that's the son that is recounting the story.
I don't know. I don't know.
But there's a lot of details for that. Why does the son?
I don't know, but the only way it could be any juicier is if the person they were banging was like trans or something.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, that would have the political twist on it.
But it would also cause that story to be off limits, because the people that are eating it up and be like, oh, you can't attack a trans person.
True.
So
she's on the lower tier of the level. So
yeah, she's at the bottom.
No. Dad, he's white. He's at the bottom.
He's at the bottom.
tier.
She's second bottom.
Yes.
Somebody was on the bottom.
Yeah, somebody was. That's gross. Anyway, we got to get out of here. Do we want to watch this clip real quick? We might as well do it so we don't waste it.
Yeah, I see Bucky's logo down there. Absolutely.
This is actually a very tragic story. This is an illegal immigrant. I'm sorry, he's not illegal, but he's got family members that are, and he's pleading, as to why it would be so sad to see his family members get hemmed up by ICE.
And you think to yourself, we'll be fine. And then you remember your mother-in-law came into this country illegally. And then you start to worry. What's going to happen to that woman who lives at 464 King David Street, apartment B, behind a tire shop? What would you guys do if she got deported? What will your wife do without that woman who reminds her every day that she could have done so much better than you? Oh my God, I just can't fathom it. The woman at 464.
It's got the address at the top.
The gate's never locked. She's using her home after bingo. It's a red Chevy Cruze, but please, I am so concerned that our family would never be back to normal without her. The woman at 464 King David Street, apartment B. Incidents in the fridge. Please don't touch the tamales in the freezer, but sure, she has a bunker, but she doesn't need it. It's just for her to get pity. Oh, God.
I gotta say, there's been a lot of Mexicans that have put out like TikToks, like making light of the whole situation that have been really funny, like pretending that ICE is knocking on their door, and like just different things.
Now we just gotta pray, and surely that music wasn't copyrighted. I guess we're gonna find out.
Yeah, crap. All
You
right.
never know anymore.
So if you didn't get to see that, it was funny. Take our word on it.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get out of here. I hope y'all have some prolific and profound final words. So think about yours, John Bird. I can always go to Tony Gump first because Tampa Tony knows his stuff. Go ahead, sir.
All right, Tampa Tony, Tampa Terry, Tampa Jim, whoever it is. Make sure to get plenty of water, meat, sunlight, and sleep. It was a blast being on Bubba's show yesterday. Even though he didn't get my name right, that's perfectly fine. And just stay positive, and we got to cut this deficit down. We need to go in the opposite way. Keep firing people. It's a good thing.
Yeah, keep firing. That's a business owner right there. Keep firing people. It's a good thing.
Yep.
How many people have you fired in your life?
Car
wash, vape store, all of it.
Okay, I've hired over 1,000 for sure.
Wow.
But if you
Dang.
consider firings, I don't even know if I've ever really fired anybody. They kind of fire themselves. I kind of either force them to quit.
Pigeonhole them.
Yeah, if they're full-time, you take them down to part-time, and then you give them hours they don't want. You make them work with people they don't want. There's ways to get rid of them, but if you count the ones I made leave and they had to, probably a few hundred.
Jeez. I've fired 2 people before.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. It was tough.
Who were they?
I'm not going to say.
What did you say?
I'm not going to say.
It's not like they don't know they were fired by you.
Jerry Taylor is not the name of the fellow that I hired. It was a part-time producer I ended up firing.
And you're not talking about yourself.
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't fire myself. I was on the other end of the firing.
Yeah.
I can tell you the one I remember the most was this guy had 4 kids and his wife had died like a year before that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and he did a really bad thing where it was policy where if I didn't let him go, I would have been in trouble, and I had to fire the guy. And he was broke and had 4 kids.
Tampa Tony, come.
It was a corporate
Terrible
structure.
Tampa Tony.
Corporate structure, I had to do it.
Yeah, the old corporate structure. Gotta love it.
Well, hey, listen, we've all been in bad spots before it happens. Hopefully he got back on his feet and didn't do the...
That guy begged me flat out, was like crying and everything. And I just had to I had to just keep my chin up and be like, sorry, man.
And I know the last thing you told him. Hope you have a great Christmas. That's when you fired him. You know it.
That's what Cumulus told John Bird. Hope you have a great Christmas. All right, John Bird, go ahead.
Yes.
By the way, you're losing. You've throughout the show, you have lost more and more of your sunscreen. That's okay.
I know. Well, these lights in here are really hot. And as a matter of fact, oddly enough, you would say that. I'm going to piggyback off of one of the things that Tampa Terry, Tony, Jim said. Sunlight. It's very, very important. I mean, sure, you can take, vitamin C and all that, but there's nothing like getting out in the sun. And now's a perfect time because summer has come. It has come completely early. But you want to be careful. Do not nude sunbathe. I know everybody talks to me how great that is. I did that one time when I was in my 20s because I had a girlfriend and she did it and she wanted me to do it with her. That bitch, I fell asleep. She got up and went in the house. I fried my pecker. It was horrible. And let me tell you, it was so bad, it peeled.
Oh.
Yes.
Like a banana.
Like a banana. So make sure, if you're going to do that, actually you do the tanning bed, right?
Yes.
So, but you cover your wee willy winker, right?
No, you go in like.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe that's for you. Maybe that's for you. But don't do it in front of people. Unless, you're like that. But, just make sure that you take care of your biggest organ, which for most people is skin. It's a little different for me. But anyway, God bless. Take care.
All right, that's a wrap. Until next time. See you guys.